Alex had always loved mountains. Even in his city life, he imagined the wind rushing past, the smell of pine, and the way the sun painted the peaks gold. So when his mom said they were going on a trip to the new floating mountain resort, he was over the moon. The resort promised cable cars that hovered above the valleys, high-tech observation decks, and even guided drone tours of the cliffs. He wasn't alone on this trip. His mom's best friend, Dr. Elena Cross, was coming too. She was brilliant, always full of ideas, and had a twinkle in her eye that made Alex feel like anything was possible. She was the kind of person who could fix a broken drone mid-flight or explain why the sky looked purple at sunset without making it sound boring. The morning was perfect. The sun rose behind the peaks, spilling light over the floating platforms. The cable car station hummed with quiet energy, a mix of humans and robots preparing for the first ride of the day. Alex, his mom, and Elena walked up the metal platform that led to the car. The cable cars themselves were sleek capsules, glass on all sides, hovering silently above the valley. "Elena, you sure you want to go all the way up?" Alex's mom asked, a little nervous. Elena laughed. "Please, I've handled worse than a few thousand feet of air below me." Alex smiled nervously. He liked adventure, but heights made him tense. Elena, on the other hand, seemed to love them. They stepped into the cable car. It smelled faintly of fresh metal and warm sunlight. The floor beneath them vibrated slightly, and the glass walls showed the valley below, stretching endlessly. Alex's heart beat fast. The valley was breathtaking, but it also made him dizzy. He gripped the railing and tried to focus on the horizon. "So, Alex," Elena said, leaning close with a grin, "ever wonder how many ways humans could survive if everything went wrong? You know, without relying on machines?" Alex raised an eyebrow. "Like, if we got stuck in a cable car?" Elena smirked. "Exactly like that. Who knows? Maybe today we'll find out." Alex laughed nervously. She had a way of making even nervous situations feel exciting. The cable car started moving smoothly, gliding above the trees and rocks. The view was incredible. Birds flew below them, and tiny streams sparkled in the sunlight. For a few minutes, Alex forgot about his fear. Then, suddenly, the cable car jolted. Alex's stomach dropped. The car swayed slightly, and a warning chime sounded. The lights inside flickered. "Just a minor glitch," Elena said calmly, though Alex noticed her hands tightening around the railing. "These systems are mostly automated, probably a sensor hiccup." But then the cable car stopped moving altogether. The hum of the engine faded, leaving only the wind whistling past the glass walls. Alex pressed his forehead against the glass, staring down at the tiny rocks below. He could see the valley floor, but it seemed impossibly far. "Okay," his mom said, her voice shaky. "This is not great." Elena crouched slightly, examining the panel in front of her. The emergency override isn't responding. That's unusual." She pressed a few buttons, her fingers moving with confidence. "Looks like we might be stuck for a bit." Alex's stomach churned. Stuck, hundreds of feet above the ground. Alone, except for the two other people in the car. "Stuck?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Elena turned to him and grinned. "Well, it's more like we're having an adventure." "Adventure is a word for someone on the ground," Alex muttered, but he couldn't help smiling at her optimism. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time seemed strange up here. The wind whispered around them, tugging at their hair. Alex's mom held his hand tightly, but Elena moved confidently around the car, testing the panels, pressing emergency buttons, and even tapping on the glass. "This isn't just a mechanical issue," Elena said finally. "There's interference. Something's affecting the sensors. Not electrical. Magnetic, maybe." Alex's eyes widened. "Magnetic? Like aliens?" Elena laughed. Not aliens. Probably. Maybe some natural phenomenon. But it's interesting. I love a challenge. Alex looked at her. He realized something. Elena wasn't scared, not even a little. She was excited. Alex, she said, turning to him with a serious expression, I know this looks dangerous, but humans, we're amazing at handling the unexpected. Sometimes we just need to stay calm and think. Alex nodded, trying to match her confidence, but his stomach still flipped. Don't worry, Elena continued, her voice playful. If anything goes wrong, I'll figure it out. Looks like I owe you one now, huh? Alex blinked. Owe me one? Just remember this, she said, smirking. If I get out of this alive, I'll owe you. Maybe something big, maybe something fun. Just trust me. Alex wasn't sure if he should feel reassured or more anxious, but somehow her calm made him feel a little braver. The car rocked slightly again. A faint buzzing sound filled the cabin. Alex pressed his forehead to the glass, peering down at the valley below. He could see tiny figures moving among the trees, other tourists, staff, and robots trying to locate the problem. Are they going to get us down? His mom asked. They will, Elena said. But right now, we improvise. Humans have survived far worse than a stuck cable car. Alex watched as she opened a small compartment in the wall. Inside were tools, mostly mundane things, like wires, small gadgets, and a few mechanical parts. Elena picked up a few, testing their flexibility and strength. I bet I can stabilize our position until help arrives, she said. Maybe even get the override working again. Alex's jaw dropped. He had never seen someone so calm in danger. He wanted to help, but he felt useless. Elena noticed and handed him a small panel. Here, she said, hold this. Follow my instructions. We'll be okay. Humans don't panic. We solve problems. Alex gripped the panel, his hands shaking slightly. Elena walked him through each step, showing him which wires to connect, which buttons to press, and how to read the small blinking lights. Minutes felt like hours, but slowly the cable car began to stabilize. The lights flickered back to normal. The hum of the engines returned. The car swayed less violently. You did it, his mom whispered, tears in her eyes. Elena smirked at Alex. See? Told you. Humans can handle almost anything. Alex laughed nervously, still feeling his heart pounding. Almost anything? Elena winked. Exactly. And now, we wait for the real rescue. But at least we're not falling. The sun was higher in the sky now, and the wind had calmed. Alex looked out of the glass walls and saw the valley stretching endlessly below. Birds flew past, oblivious to their predicament. He realized something important. Despite the fear, the adrenaline, and the danger, humans were extraordinary. They could stay calm, think fast, and survive where machines might fail. And in that moment, Alex understood why Elena had smirked. She had a plan, a confidence that humans were better than anyone expected, and a promise that something good was coming. He smiled. Maybe, just maybe, he could survive this adventure. And somehow, he had a feeling that the cable car incident was only the beginning. The cable car hung silently above the valley, swaying gently as the wind shifted. Alex clutched the panel Elena had given him, trying to remember the steps she had carefully explained. The initial panic had passed, replaced by a tense focus. He realized that being stuck hundreds of feet above the ground was one thing, but what really mattered now was thinking clearly. Elena, what's next? Alex asked, his voice steadier than he expected. She turned to him with a calm smile. Next is understanding why the system failed. Machines are smart, but they're not perfect. Sometimes, only humans can see what they miss. Alex glanced at the control panel. Lights blinked erratically, numbers fluctuated, and a small screen displayed a warning. System interference detected. What does that mean? He asked. Elena crouched, pointing at the display. It means something unusual is affecting the sensors. Could be a magnetic field, electromagnetic interference, or even a strange weather pattern. Machines can only handle what they expect. But humans... She smirked. We improvise. Alex nodded. He felt a surge of admiration for her. While the fear still lingered, her confidence made him feel like he could actually do something useful. Elena, do you think it's a mechanical problem? Or something else? She examined the car carefully. Mechanical problems are usually easy to fix. A wire here, a sensor there. But this... She waved at the blinking lights. This is external. Something is affecting the system from outside. Alex frowned. Like, what? Another machine? Elena shook her head. Maybe. Or maybe something completely unexpected. She looked out of the glass wall, scanning the valley below. Her eyes narrowed as she noticed a faint shimmer in the air, barely visible against the morning light. What is that? Alex asked, squinting. Elena tapped a few keys on the panel. Not sure yet. Could be a natural phenomenon, or maybe some kind of probe. Either way, it's curious enough that it's interfering with our systems. Alex swallowed. A probe? You mean, like, alien? Elena laughed lightly, though there was seriousness in her eyes. Maybe not. But here's the thing, Alex. We can't wait for help to figure it out. Humans solve problems. Machines sometimes wait for instructions. We act. Alex felt a spark of determination. Elena's words were strange, but inspiring. Humans could act in ways machines could not. Maybe that was the key to getting out of this situation. Okay, Alex said, gripping the panel. So what do we do? Elena handed him a small set of wires and a multi-tool. We improvise. Think like a human. Observe, experiment, and adapt. Follow my lead, and we'll stabilize the car. Alex studied her movements. She worked quickly, but methodically, connecting wires, pressing buttons, and watching the screen for any change. Every action seemed deliberate. Alex, she said, humans have survived far worse than a stuck cable car. And you know why? Why? He asked. Because we can think, we can adapt, and we don't give up. She smiled at him. Now, your turn. Connect these wires exactly as I show you. Alex nodded, hands steadying as he followed her instructions. Sparks of confidence lit inside him. The cable car shuddered slightly, but he and Elena worked together to redirect power through the panels. Slowly, the blinking lights began to stabilize. Good, Elena said. See? Humans machines sometimes. Alex smiled. Yeah, sometimes. The wind picked up again, shaking the car more violently. Alex felt his stomach twist, but he focused on the task at hand. The panel in his hands was heavy with responsibility, yet he felt proud. He was helping. Then a soft buzzing sound filled the cabin, different from the hum of the engines. Alex looked up. A faint, silvery shimmer moved outside the cable car. It hovered near the support cable, pulsing faintly. Elena. That shimmer. What is it? He asked. She frowned, studying it carefully. That's what's causing the interference. Something is interacting with our system. I can't tell exactly what yet, but it's observing, not attacking. That's good. Alex blinked. Observing? Like, it's watching us? Exactly, she said. Humans are unpredictable. Machines follow programs. You and I, we think differently. This something wants to see what we do. Alex shivered. The idea of being watched by something unknown, hundreds of feet above the ground, was unnerving. But Elena's calm demeanor made it feel less terrifying. Okay, she said, straightening. We need to stabilize the car, and then maybe we can communicate, or at least show it we're smart. Alex followed her instructions. They used reflective panels inside the car to direct light outward, hoping to interact with the shimmer. Elena carefully adjusted the sensors, creating a makeshift feedback loop that would allow them to monitor its response. Minutes passed. The shimmering light pulsed again, almost like it was studying their movements. Alex realized something incredible. Despite being stuck in a cable car, they were making first contact with something completely unknown, and humans were doing it without fear. "Elena," Alex said quietly, "we're kind of amazing, aren't we?" Elena grinned. "Told you. Humans are amazing. We survive, adapt, and even impress the unknown." The car shifted slightly as a gust of wind hit. Alex gripped the railing, but Elena stayed steady, monitoring both the system and the shimmer outside. She adjusted wires and pressed buttons, guiding Alex with calm authority. "Alex," she said, "we need to test the system now. Ready?" He nodded. They rerouted power through the emergency system, creating a controlled pulse to see how the shimmer reacted. To their surprise, the light outside flickered in sync with their signals, almost like it was responding. "See that?" Elena said. "It's curious. It's learning from us. Humans can teach in ways machines can't." Alex felt a surge of pride. They were not just surviving, they were showing something unknown, that humans were capable, clever, and adaptable. The minutes stretched, each one tense but full of discovery. They learned quickly how the shimmer moved in response to light, pressure, and even sound. Alex realized that every action they took was teaching it something about humans. Calm under pressure, curious and resourceful. "Elena," he said, "do you think it's friendly?" "Friendly is relative," she said. "It's not hostile, and right now it's fascinated by humans. That's a start." Alex smiled, feeling a strange excitement. Being stuck in a cable car had never seemed so important. They weren't just waiting to be rescued. They were proving something about humanity. Finally, after hours of careful observation and careful adjustments, Elena managed to stabilize the cable car enough that it would no longer sway dangerously. The system's warning lights dimmed, and the engines hummed steadily. Alex exhaled. "We did it." Elena looked at him, her eyes sparkling. "We did more than survive. We showed that humans, unexpected, clever, adaptable humans, can handle even the unknown. That's what HFY is all about, Alex." He nodded, understanding. Humans were not just passengers on a cable car. They were thinkers, problem solvers, and survivors. And sometimes they could do things machines or even aliens might never expect. As the sun climbed higher, the shimmer outside pulsed one last time before fading into the sky. Elena tapped the panel one final time. "That's our cue. Help is coming and we're ready. Humans are always ready." Alex felt a deep sense of pride. He had faced fear, followed instructions, and thought critically. He had learned that humans were more than their tools or machines. They were adaptable, clever, and brave. Elena turned to him with a smirk. "See, Alex? Looks like I really do owe you one. And not just for helping me stabilize the car, but for showing the unknown what humans are capable of." Alex laughed. "I think we both proved something today." She winked. "Exactly. And tomorrow, who knows what other adventures await. But one thing is clear. Humans always find a way." As the cable car finally began its slow descent toward the nearest platform, Alex realized something important. Being stuck hundreds of feet above the ground had taught him more than any book, any lesson, or any video. Humans were clever, adaptable, and bold, even when everything seemed uncertain. And with Elena by his side, he knew that no challenge was too great to face. The cable car hovered just above the platform now, the wind calmer than it had been hours ago. Alex's hands were still shaking slightly, though his heart was steadier. Elena had guided them through the worst of it. stabilizing the system and interacting with the mysterious shimmer that had caused all the trouble. "Almost there," Elena said, scanning the valley below. "Just a few more meters, and we'll be safely on the platform." Alex looked out the glass walls. The shimmer was gone. He had expected relief, but instead, a new feeling came over him. Curiosity. Whatever that thing had been, it wasn't hostile. It had watched them, learned from them, and vanished as if satisfied. "Elena," he said, "do you think it will come back?" She smiled faintly. "Probably, but for now it's gone, and we need to focus on getting down safely." The cable car moved slowly toward the platform. Alex felt a mix of relief and disappointment. Relief that the danger was ending, but disappointment that the unknown presence was gone. He wanted to understand it, to prove once more what humans could do in unexpected situations. Suddenly, the panel in front of Elena beeped loudly. A new warning appeared. "Unidentified object approaching." Alex froze. "Again? What is it this time?" Elena examined the display carefully. "It's not hostile. It's approaching, but slowly. Cautiously. I think it's the same shimmer, or something similar. It's observing us again." Alex swallowed. "Observing again? Why would it come back?" "Curiosity," Elena said simply. "Humans are unpredictable. Maybe it wants to see if we've learned anything, if we can think creatively." Alex glanced at her. "Creatively?" She nodded. "Yes. Remember how we stabilized the car? How we improvised when the machines failed? That's what it's interested in. Not just survival, but intelligence, resourcefulness." Alex felt a spark of excitement. Humans were more than their machines. They could surprise even unknown forces, and that thought filled him with pride. The shimmer grew larger as it approached, becoming more defined. Its shape was unusual, elongated with a faint glow that shifted colors depending on how the sunlight hit it. Alex could see a faint pattern on its surface, almost like it was scanning them. Elena frowned. "It's definitely studying us, and we need to show it that humans are clever and adaptable." Alex nodded. "How do we do that?" Elena tapped on the panel. "We interact. We respond to its signals. Let's see if it understands patterns. If it does, we can communicate in a way it can observe clearly." Alex watched as Elena moved quickly, arranging reflective panels, mirrors, and lights inside the car. She adjusted the angles precisely, creating a sequence of flashes that pulsed outward toward the shimmer. The creature reacted immediately. Its glow shifted, pulsing in response to their light pattern. Alex's eyes widened. "It's responding!" "Yes," Elena said, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. "It's learning from us, observing patterns, watching humans adapt." Alex felt a thrill of pride. They weren't just stuck passengers anymore. They were participants in something extraordinary. Humans were showing intelligence in real time, improvising in ways a machine, or maybe even an alien, could not predict. The cable car shivered slightly as a gust of wind hit. Alex gripped the railing, but Elena remained calm, guiding him. "Keep going," she said. "We're proving something important." Minutes passed as they continued their light patterns, responding to the shimmer's subtle changes. Slowly, a pattern emerged, a form of interaction. The shimmer seemed to imitate their movements, pulsing and shifting in ways that mirrored their signals. Alex's heart raced. "It's communicating? Kind of?" "Exactly," Elena said. "We're teaching it that humans are capable of thought, adaptation, and creativity, and it's responding." "That's huge." Alex looked out at the shimmer, feeling a connection he couldn't explain. Despite the danger, despite being stuck in a cable car hundreds of feet above the ground, he realized humans were extraordinary. They could think, learn, and even influence the unknown. Elena, he said, do you think it's friendly? She considered the question. Friendly is not the right word, but it's not hostile. It's curious. And curiosity is something humans can understand. We've always studied the unknown, learned from it, and used it to grow. That's what makes us special. Alex nodded. He felt a deep pride. Humans were clever, resourceful, and brave, even in situations that seemed hopeless. And here they were, proving it to a creature that had no idea what to expect. The cable car finally reached a lower platform, but the shimmer did not leave. It hovered near the car, pulsing gently, almost like it was waiting for something. Elena, what do we do now? Alex asked. She thought for a moment. We show it one more thing. Teamwork. Humans don't just survive alone. We help each other, we collaborate, and we solve problems together. Alex smiled. Then let's do it. Elena guided him as they performed a coordinated series of actions, adjusting panels, redirecting light, and monitoring the shimmer's responses. Each step required trust, precision, and careful observation. Alex realized that humans weren't just clever. They could work together under pressure, combining skills and instincts to achieve something incredible. The shimmer pulsed brightly, almost as if acknowledging their effort. Alex felt a rush of excitement. They had communicated, not with words, but through action, thought, and creativity. Humans had impressed the unknown. Finally, the shimmer slowly drifted away, disappearing into the valley below. Alex watched until it was gone, feeling a mix of awe and triumph. Elena, he said, did we teach it something? I think we did, she replied. We showed it humans are not predictable. We adapt, we learn, and we survive, and sometimes we even impress. She winked. That's the HFY factor, Alex. Alex laughed. HFY? Humanity, Alex, she said. Humans, yeah. We may not be the strongest or the fastest, but we're clever, adaptable, and resourceful. And we survive. That's what makes humans amazing. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Despite being stuck in a cable car, despite the fear, he realized humans truly were extraordinary. They could overcome challenges, adapt to the unknown, and even communicate with things they had never seen before. The platform beneath the cable car finally neared. The rescue team waved from below, ready to guide them safely down. Alex looked at Elena. You did it, he said. We did it, she corrected him, smiling. Humans did it, and you, Alex, were part of it. You stayed calm, followed instructions, and learned quickly. That's what makes humans remarkable. As the cable car descended safely, Alex reflected on everything that had happened. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and the unknown. And yet, through clever thinking, teamwork, and calm determination, they had not only survived, but had impressed a being from beyond their world. Elena glanced at him, smirking. Remember what I said? I owe you one. And this proves that humans always find a way, even when the odds are impossible. Alex nodded. He felt a sense of pride and accomplishment that he had never experienced before. Humanity was clever, adaptable, and brave. And today, he had seen it firsthand. As they stepped off the cable car and onto solid ground, Alex looked out at the valley one last time. The shimmer was gone, but its presence lingered in his mind. Humans had faced the unknown, adapted, and survived. And somehow he knew this was only the beginning of their adventures. Elena turned to him, eyes twinkling. Tomorrow, who knows what challenges await? But one thing is certain. Humans always rise to the occasion. Always. Alex smiled, feeling a new confidence. He had faced fear, uncertainty, and the unknown, and discovered that humans were capable of far more than he had ever imagined. And with Elena by his side, He knew that no challenge was too great. Humans, after all, always found a way. The cable car hung above the platform, the valley stretching endlessly below. Alex's hands were still slightly shaky, but the shimmer had gone, leaving only a quiet tension in the air. The rescue team was ready below, their bright uniforms and equipment gleaming in the morning sun. Yet Elena knew they couldn't just rely on them, not entirely. "Alex," she said, adjusting the panel one last time, "the system is stable enough for the team to guide us down, but I'm not taking any chances. We're doing this together, humans, using brains and skill." Alex swallowed. "Together? Right. What do we do?" Elena smiled faintly. "We climb, carefully, step by step. Trust the tools, trust each other." Alex glanced at the cable car. Its doors were sealed tight, the glass reflecting sunlight. A simple descent would seem easy from the ground, but hundreds of feet above the valley, the wind and trembling cables made everything unpredictable. "Follow my lead," Elena said. "We'll use the external harnesses. It's secure. I've tested them before, but—" Her voice trailed off with a grin. "It's still going to be an adventure." Alex tightened his harness, feeling the straps dig into his shoulders. His heart pounded as Elena tested the line. The wind tugged at them, causing the cable car to sway slightly. Alex gritted his teeth, trying not to panic. "Look at me," Elena said calmly. "Humans survive by thinking, by adapting, by staying calm under pressure. We're not just passengers, we're problem solvers." Alex nodded, taking a deep breath. "Problem solvers," he repeated. Step by step, they climbed out onto the exterior of the cable car. Alex's stomach flipped as the valley stretched below him, trees and cliffs shrinking into tiny shapes. Elena moved confidently, securing herself to the cable and checking each harness carefully. "You can do this, Alex," she said. "One step at a time. Think, don't rush. Observe the wind, adjust, and breathe." Alex swallowed hard, his hands gripping the cables tightly. He focused on each movement, mimicking Elena's actions. Slowly, steadily, he moved along the exterior, feeling the tension and the thrill of danger. "Good," Elena said, her eyes on him. "You're doing fine. Humans excel in challenges like this. It's what makes us capable." As they moved, the shimmer appeared again, hovering in the distance. Its glow was softer this time, pulsing as if it were observing their progress. Alex felt a strange calm wash over him. They weren't alone. The shimmer was curious, not hostile. And it had witnessed something remarkable. Humans acting together under pressure. Elena adjusted a panel on the side of the cable car, creating a makeshift anchor point. "We'll need this to secure the final descent," she said. "Hold steady, Alex. Focus on the harness. Watch the wind. Step carefully." Alex followed her instructions, feeling the tension in his muscles as the wind tugged at him. The cable car swayed gently, but Elena's calm presence gave him confidence. Step by step, they inched closer to the platform. "Almost there," Elena said. "Just a few more meters. Humans always rise to the occasion. We think, adapt, and survive." Suddenly, a stronger gust of wind hit, rocking the cable car. Alex's heart jumped. But he remembered Elena's words. Think, adapt, survive. He adjusted his stance, gripping the harness tightly and leaning into the movement of the wind. "Good," Elena said, noticing his adjustment. "See? Humans adapt instinctively. That's what makes us capable. Machines might fail, but we find a way." The shimmer pulsed brightly, moving closer for a moment, as if acknowledging their skill. Alex felt a rush of pride. Not only were they surviving, but they were showing the unknown that humans were clever, brave, and resourceful. "Elena, do you think it understands what we're doing?" he asked, voice tight with adrenaline. "I think it does," she replied. "Humans are impressive in ways even unknown beings can appreciate. We solve problems, we work together, and we don't give up. Step by step, they neared the edge of the platform. Alex could feel the solid ground beneath him, but he had to remain focused. One wrong move could undo everything. Almost done, Elena said, checking the harness and anchor points one last time. Alex, you've done brilliantly. Humans are incredible. Finally, they reached the platform. Alex let out a deep breath, his legs trembling as he stepped onto solid ground. Elena followed, securing the harness and smiling proudly. You did it, Alex said, his voice filled with relief. We did it, Elena corrected him. Humans did it, and not just us. We proved that intelligence, adaptability, and teamwork matter more than machines or fear. The rescue team rushed forward to secure the cable car and check their safety. Alex's mom ran toward them, tears in her eyes, and hugged him tightly. I was so scared, she said. Alex smiled, still catching his breath. We made it. Elena patted his shoulder. And we showed the unknown that humans are capable. That's what matters. We didn't just survive, we impressed. We adapted. We won. Alex looked at the valley, the shimmer still faintly visible in the distance. He realized something profound. Humans were extraordinary. They could adapt, think, and act in ways that even unknown forces might not expect. You know, Elena said, smirking at him, I really do owe you one. Not just for helping stabilize the cable car, but for proving that humans are clever and capable. Alex laughed, feeling a mix of pride and relief. I guess we really did it. Elena nodded. Yes, humans always find a way, Alex. And that's why the universe should pay attention to us. The shimmer pulsed one last time before disappearing behind the mountain peaks. Alex felt a strange satisfaction. They had faced danger, uncertainty, and the unknown, and they had prevailed. As the rescue team guided the cable car safely to the station, Alex reflected on everything that had happened. Humans were not just passengers on machines, they were thinkers, problem solvers, and survivors. They could adapt to anything, even the unexpected interference of unknown forces. Elena turned to him, her eyes sparkling. Tomorrow, who knows what challenges await, but one thing is certain. Humans always rise to the occasion. Always. Alex smiled, feeling a newfound confidence. Today had taught him that humans were clever, adaptable, and brave. They could survive and impress even in the most unlikely situations, and with Elena by his side, he knew that no challenge was too great. Humans, after all, always found a way. As the sun set behind the peaks, casting long shadows over the valley, Alex felt a sense of accomplishment he would never forget. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and the unknown, and emerged stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever before. Elena looked at him with a teasing grin. Remember, Alex, I owe you one. And who knows, maybe the universe has more surprises in store for us. Alex laughed softly. I'm ready for them. And for the first time, he felt certain. No matter what came next, humans would always find a way. The sun hung low over the mountain peaks, casting long golden shadows across the floating resort. Alex, his mom, and Elena stood on the platform, catching their breath after the tense ordeal in the cable car. The valley below seemed calm now, almost peaceful, as if the mountains themselves were congratulating them on their success. Alex looked out over the cliffs, still thinking about the shimmer that had appeared and vanished hours ago. He could hardly believe what had just happened. Humans, ordinary people, had faced a completely unknown force, adapted under pressure, and survived. Not only that, they had impressed it. Somehow that idea made his chest swell with pride. Helena, Alex said, breaking the silence, do you think it learned from us? She smirked, brushing a strand of hair from her face. I don't know. Maybe. But what I do know is this. Humans are remarkable, clever, adaptable, resourceful. We survive. And sometimes, we even teach the unknown a thing or two. Alex laughed, shaking his head. All this, from being stuck in a cable car? Elena grinned. Exactly. That's the beauty of humanity. We take every situation, no matter how small or how terrifying, and turn it into an opportunity. Today, we proved it. Alex glanced at his mom, who was still holding on to him tightly. Mom, we really made it through. Yes, she said softly, her voice filled with relief. I've never been so scared. But you both were amazing. Elena nudged Alex playfully. See? I told you humans can handle almost anything. She looked at him seriously for a moment. And Alex? I really do owe you one. Alex raised an eyebrow. Owe me one? What do you mean? She smiled mysteriously. I mean that you helped me today. Not just stabilize the cable car, but you proved that humans can adapt, think fast, and work together. That's not easy. And you did it. Alex felt a warm sense of pride. He had feared the unknown, faced danger, and learned that humans could do incredible things even in the most stressful situations. The shimmer reappeared faintly on the horizon, this time hovering higher above the mountains. It pulsed gently, almost like a signal. Alex pointed. Look, it's back. Elena studied it carefully. It's observing again. I think it wants to see the long-term effect. Humans don't just survive, they think, they plan, and they adapt for the future. That's rare. Alex watched the glow pulse rhythmically. Somehow it felt approving. He couldn't explain it, but a thrill ran through him. Humans had been tested, and they had passed. Tomorrow, Elena said, we could teach it even more, but for now, we celebrate what humans can do. We survived, adapted, and impressed something completely unknown. That's huge. Alex smiled. I guess humans really are incredible. Yes, Elena said, looking at him seriously. And remember this moment, Alex. It's not just about surviving a stuck cable car. It's about discovering what we're capable of when we work together and think clearly. That's what makes humans special. The rescue team guided them down the final few steps to solid ground. Alex's legs trembled slightly, but he felt a surge of confidence. He had faced fear, uncertainty, and the unknown, and had learned firsthand that humans were clever, resourceful, and brave. Once they were safe, Alex and Elena walked a short distance to the observation deck, overlooking the valley. The wind was gentle, the sun warm, and the world seemed to sparkle with possibility. Elena, Alex said, do you think we'll ever see the shimmer again? She smiled. Maybe, maybe not, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that humans proved something today. We adapt, we survive, and sometimes we impress the unknown. Alex looked out over the valley, thinking about all that had happened. He realized something important. Humans weren't just passengers on machines or observers of nature. They were thinkers, problem solvers, and survivors. And sometimes their ingenuity and bravery could affect the world in ways no one expected. Elena, he said, what happens now? She looked at him, eyes twinkling. Now, we prepare for the next challenge. Humans never stop learning, adapting, and growing. Today was just one test. Tomorrow, the universe might throw something even bigger at us, but humans always find a way. Alex smiled, feeling a sense of excitement and purpose. He had faced fear, adapted to unexpected challenges, and realized the true power of human ingenuity. And somehow, he knew this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. Elena, thanks, he said softly. She winked. No, Alex. Thank you. You proved what humans can do. And now, you're ready for anything. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the platform. The shimmer faded completely into the sky, leaving only the warm glow of the evening sun. Alex watched it go, feeling a sense of accomplishment and pride that he had never known before. "Mom," he said, "humans really are incredible." His mother smiled, hugging him again. "Yes, they are. And you just proved it." Elena clapped her hands lightly. "All right, team. We survived, we adapted, and we impressed the unknown. Not a bad day, huh?" Alex laughed. "Definitely not. But I feel like this is just the start." She nodded. "It is. Humans always rise to the occasion. We think, adapt, and survive. And one day, the universe will notice, maybe even reward us for it." Alex looked out at the mountains, the valley, and the fading glow of the shimmer. He felt a deep sense of wonder. Humans were more than they realized. Clever, resourceful, and brave. And somehow, in a stuck cable car hundreds of feet above the ground, he had learned just how extraordinary they could be. "Are you ready for the next adventure?" Elena asked, smirking. Alex grinned. "I think so. Humans always find a way, right?" "Exactly," Elena said. "And never forget it." The evening sky turned deep orange and purple as they walked toward the resort. Alex felt a sense of pride, excitement, and possibility that he would carry forever. They had survived a stuck cable car, faced the unknown, and proven the true power of human ingenuity. As they entered the resort, Alex thought about what Elena had said. Humans think, adapt, and survive. They are clever, resourceful, and brave, and one day the universe would recognize it. For now, he knew one thing. Humans had triumphed, and somehow Alex felt certain that this adventure, terrifying as it had been, had shown him a truth he would never forget. No matter the challenge, humans always find a way. Elena glanced at him one last time, smirking as she said, "Remember, Alex, I owe you one. And the universe might just throw another challenge your way. But humans? We'll be ready." Alex laughed softly, filled with confidence and pride. "We'll be ready." And with that, the sun disappeared behind the mountains, leaving only the promise of tomorrow and the certainty that humanity, clever and brave, would always rise to meet it.